What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the Xiaomi 14T Pro. It has been roughly over 30 days since I've been using this phone, messing around with it. We did a ton of comparisons on this phone as well too, and it is a very awesome phone. This 30 days later, I really like this device here. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Where is the price at now? But if you buy like from here, you'll have to pay like almost $800. And so it is it's an expensive phone for sure here. And I really like this phone, guys. It's been a super solid experience. One of my favorite Xiaomi devices here. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The hardware on here, it was a phone that a lot of people were clowning and they were saying that it was ugly. I didn't like the renders of it when I first saw it, but the design really grows on you guys and it looks much better in person. So it's one of those phones you kind of have to pick up and hold yourself. And yeah, I think it looks fine here. So you do have on here a full, or not full, but it does have an aluminum frame on here, glass back on here. You do have a full premium design on here, aluminum frame, glass back. Can kind of pick up fingerprints on this color for sure, even though it's a matte finish. But it's IP68 dust and water resistant as well too. And you got nice texture on the power button here. And then we also do have the IR blaster on here, which is extremely underrated. Being able to control your TV with this device and appliances and stuff will always be very cool. So hardware wise, I really like it. I like the camera setup on here, how it looks. Doesn't look bad at all. Like I said, it's one of those phones that you would have to kind of see in person for sure here. Now the display on the 14T Pro, also pretty good display, respectable bezels on here as well too, pretty slim bezels. And color wise looks pretty good. It's an AMOLED display. It's actually 144 Hertz, so you get that really nice buttery smooth experience on here. It's HDR10 plus, and this phone is crazy bright outdoors, guys. 4,000 nits peak brightness on here, so it's a pretty bright phone in direct sunlight for sure. And now it is a 6.67 inch display. You also do have a 1220 by 2712 resolution, and it is 446 for the PPI. Like I said, the display looks great for watching content and also playing video games. Very bright, so I have no issues with the panel on here. And like I said, it's just been a joy to use 144 Hertz. Now I did get like a scratch on my display right here, and so I've been pretty careful with this phone, but it still managed to get kind of like scratched up. I'm not really even sure how it happened, but it's unfortunate. But yeah, I never use screen protectors and stuff like that, but yeah, it's unfortunate. But I do want to talk about the overall OS here. So Xiaomi skin is very smooth. It's super smooth. The animations are really nice. The only thing I think I don't like about Xiaomi skin is that the drop down menu looks way too much like an iPhone. So I think you guys can see here, it just looks way too much like an iPhone. That's my only thing about this. They were probably, inspired by iOS, I'm assuming. But I love everything else about this device. Animations look really good on here. It's just very smooth to use. So overall, I'm really happy with the OS here for sure. Now you do have the built-in Gemini on here as well, so you can do the AI stuff with Gemini. And yeah, it has some AI features, which I don't really use the AI stuff to be honest, but it does have it. But overall, this OS has been like buttery smooth. I never really have any type of hiccups with this phone. Gaming performance is going to be top notch on this device. You can play PUBG Ultra Extreme, and it is very smooth. What I found most impressive about this Dimensity processor, so it has the Dimensity 9300 Plus chipset. On the base model, we have 256 gigs and 12 gigs of RAM. Now, this is the 512 gigabyte, or not the 512, but this is the 1 terabyte version with 12 gigs of RAM. And it's buttery smooth, guys. It is super smooth gaming. What I love about this Dimensity is this thing really does not heat up. Like, this thing always stays pretty cool for the most part, whether I'm gaming, videos, whatever you're doing on your phone. I'm always pretty surprised at how cool this phone stays for me. Now, I'm not a heavy gamer. You could probably push this thing, but from what I've seen online from like gaming videos and benchmarks, tests and stuff like that, It's a very fast phone and it's pretty cool. So I do really like the Dimensity processors here. I think they're doing a good job for sure here. And like I said, this is a great alternative for someone who is overseas, right? Because I believe my overseas audience was telling me, like, I believe this phone is like around like $600 or something like that. And it's a great alternative to a Galaxy, S24 or something, new. It's much cheaper and you get kind of like, you really get kind of the same experience, performance wise, pretty much. It is really that good. Check out these speakers at max volume. So speakers sound pretty good in comparison to what's on the market. Not bad at all. What's really cool this year is the fingerprint scanner is pretty fast, even though it's a optical one. It's been extremely accurate. So that's something that I really like about this phone as well. I haven't had an issue with the fingerprint scanner on here. Face unlock worked really well too on this device. Alright, so I do want to go ahead and talk about the cameras. So camera wise, you have a 50 megapixel standard, 50 megapixel telephoto, 2.6 optical zoom with a 12 megapixel ultra wide. It has a 8K 24 and 30 for the FPS, and then a 32 megapixel selfie camera that only shoots in 4K 30. So I really like the stills on here. I thought they looked really good color wise, dynamic range. The photos come out really crispy. Yeah, I had no issues. The ultra wide, very consistent as well too. And I just really like the cameras. The telephoto lens, like I said, did a decent job as well. So these stills I think they look fantastic. I thought the video was decent on here. It was not bad by any means. I think dynamic range is great. It is still pretty crispy as well too. So I don't think the video is bad. I was seeing a lot of comments about that, like the video, but to me the video looked perfectly fine here. Probably the best thing about the 14T Pro here is the battery life. So the battery life is very good on here. Not only is the battery life very good, but this thing has crazy fast charging speeds. Now, unfortunately, Xiaomi took the charger out of the box here, so we can't, get the charger, but we do have 120 watts on here. We have 50 watt wireless charging on here, and this phone easily lasts all day for me. So it is a pretty good phone when it comes to screen on time, standby time. It is a phenomenal device for that. So I've just been pretty impressed with the 14T Pro. One of my favorite Xiaomi devices this year. And yeah, very underrated device here. So what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know and I'll catch you guys in the next one.